I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my creative healing course is filled with hours of exclusive content. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about the story of Emily. Now, of course, I've changed the name of this.
Absolutely.
But I thought it would be interesting to do an email coaching that has a lot of twists and turns. And there's a lot going on in this situation.
Certainly is. Yeah.
So this is from an email coaching from a woman in her early 30s that was dating a guy in his early 40s. Now they met last winter, right?
Right.
And so this relationship lasted, it seems like, for about probably 7 months or so. I don't remember the exact date. We might go through the dates.
6 or 7 months, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is a really interesting story, and there's a lot going on here. So strap yourselves in for this one, right? So she says that they had never lived together, and he had recently been divorced from his wife of over a decade when they started dating. And she had been split from a relationship for several years after a long relationship too, and she felt like she had healed.
And he probably said he had too, would be my best guess.
Well, we're about to find out that he had not.
Yes, we are.
We started off as friends, and a few months later, we started to become intimate. We went on a couple of trips, and he started to tell me he loved me. I knew he was broken, but I believed he was getting over her. So deep down, she knew
yes, that he was still struggling.
Broken. I mean, we don't know how far out of this divorce he is, but it takes time to heal from a divorce.
It certainly does, particularly when you've left children behind.
Mm-hmm. June comes around, and I find out that I'm expecting. Now, you can imagine they've only been together for about 6 months, and only about 4 of that was dating, because a couple months they were just talking as friends. I have a miscarriage about a month later, and this is where things go bad. I tried to cut ties with him, and he refused.
So she went along with it, is really what she means.
It sounds like he got pushy, and she went along with it.
That's what it sounds like. Everyone has a right of refusal.
Yeah. He insisted we go on one more trip to work on the situation. Come August, I'm pregnant again.
She had the miscarriage only like 3...
A month beforehand. The miscarriage was in July, and now she's pregnant again. This is not a good situation.
Not at all.
At all. This man is recently divorced. She said she knew he was broken. They've only been together for 6 months, roughly. And not even all that was dating.
Right.
And she's already, I mean, you have a child with somebody, you're going to have that person in your life forever.
Yes.
She says he knew exactly what he was doing. Margaret? I'm going to let you take that one.
Well, my first response to that was he wanted to keep her around without owning the fact that he did. He didn't want to make a commitment to her. But both of these people are grown-ups, and they know about birth control. So you wonder how possibly this happened. But it seems to me like he wanted to keep her in his life, but didn't want to make a regular commitment to her. And as Craig has pointed out, once you have a child with someone, they're in your life forever or for a really long time.
Yeah.
So in some way, it sounds like he didn't want to break ties with her, but he also didn't want sort of an upfront commitment. So I don't know what his gig is. Now,
the other thing, Margaret, is the way she writes that to me, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Like he wanted to get her pregnant.
Yeah, and it feels angry to me, like it's all on him, but took two people,
It takes two.
and it wasn't the first pregnancy.
No.
It's the second in 2 months.
No. He knew just what he was doing, but you let him.
It just feels incredibly immature on both their parts.
Right.
And now you have a baby, and that's, another person.
And, but go back to, she wanted to break up with him initially, but he refused, and she didn't fight with him.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like she may be one of those people who, for whatever reason, kind of goes along with the program.
Mm-hmm. But the situation is already getting bad quick.
Yes, it certainly is.
We get back from vacation, and he starts to avoid me. I confirm to him that I'm expecting, and he tells me we should just be friends. I freak out and do something out of anxiety. I contacted his ex-wife and asked if they were together.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good move. Well, let's see what happens here. It's not going to be good. She said they were not, but he had been trying for the last month.
Uh-huh.
She told me so much more. Well, that is enough. That's enough right there.
Well,
this
yes,
woman.
I'm sure there is more, however. Yeah.
Yeah, she gets pregnant, and he's already, once she had the miscarriage, he's probably trying to get the wife back.
Right.
Gets her pregnant again, and is secretly trying to get back with the wife the entire time.
I think this guy can't even handle the thought of being alone.
Mm-hmm.
Or together. Either one. It sounds like he's kind of stuck some way.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on. He contacted me and said, "Thank you for ruining my life."
Well, I always think one good term deserves another. One good deed deserves another. She ruined his life? Give me a break.
He chose this himself, and he's not taking any responsibility.
No, he isn't.
This is not good.
So now he's the victim here.
Yeah. He said, "You had no business going to her. Now you ruined my chances with her." He was probably watching some other bad breakup coach's channel and got the advice to get another woman pregnant.
Yeah, right.
It's in one of their videos where they talk about the handwritten letter. Get her
Yes.
pregnant.
Yeah, get her pregnant, right.
That will help get your ex back. Oh my gosh, this is not good. So, it tells you he had really no desire to be with this woman because he's secretly trying to get the ex back. And he's blaming her
And he's blaming her.
for their marriage falling apart.
Neither one of them, it doesn't sound like to me, can make a decision to save themselves. She couldn't make a decision to break up with him when she wanted to. And he can't make a decision who he wants to be with, but it sounds like he has to have somebody.
Mm-hmm. She says, I needed help healing from this. Or I need help healing from this. I'm now 4 months pregnant. I have a few other children from my first marriage.
A few?
Yes. And I'm trying so hard to keep it together, but I'm broken and mentally exhausted.
I can imagine.
And now, here we go. Here's more info. He has a whole new woman. Out of anger, here comes her anxiety again. What do you think she did this time? I told her I was pregnant by him, but she didn't seem to care.
Okay.
Okay. Imagine a woman comes to you.
It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe, but then, there are many things that can happen to people that are kind of unbelievable. All right.
So now he reached out.
At least she's fighting back.
Now he reached out and told me to leave him alone again. Is this the end of the relationship, and what do you recommend I do? Today is day 13 of no contact. I am a mess. More when it comes to appointments, as he doesn't seem to care about the baby at all. He raised a daughter that wasn't his and has two with his ex-wife. It's just me he has an issue with.
Oh, that's her conclusion? No. She's going to blame herself. That there's something wrong with her, that he won't stay with her.
Well, this guy is just coming out of a marriage. He's not ready for another long-term relationship, let alone a baby with somebody new. And it was incredibly reckless of him to do this.
Yeah.
And selfish. Mm-hmm. And, Margaret, I think you're right that this guy just uses people to comfort him.
It sounds to me like his needs are absolutely so overwhelming that he can't think about anybody else. That's my immediate response.
And blames her for ruining his chances. Well, buddy, you were in a marriage for a long time. It didn't work out.
No.
And you were part of the reason that. And then he goes to another new woman, gets this, and now this new woman doesn't even care that she's pregnant by him.
He must be very cute and have a great line, don't you think?
He's probably an obnoxious SOB, and these women just have terrible trauma histories.
That could also be a possibility. That would make sense as well.
Oh,
But he
man.
still must have a good line.
Well, unfortunately, the saddest thing for me is that now there's going to be another baby.
Right.
And
may
this
not
woman
have a
is
dad.
devastated, and now this guy doesn't seem to care.
And there are financial issues as well. He
Yeah.
needs to support that baby financially.
Yeah.
And if he gets upset with her and yells at her, I just can hear her saying, all right, then I won't take you to court. So I hope she can hold him to his responsibility.
Yeah. This is a very sad situation for
is.
everybody involved.
Yes, it is.
Now all these people are hurting, except for apparently the new girlfriend. She seems
She's
fine.
not worried about a thing. No.
Oh my gosh. But, you know, as far as the relationship, I would not recommend you try and repair this relationship
No.
at all.
No.
What I would say you should do in this situation is to act like an adult surrounding the child, surrounding the pregnancy. Send him maybe an email. It's a little bit less imposing, just saying, look, I would like you to be a part of this baby's life. I would like to invite you to come to any of these doctor's appointments and be there, see the baby, help me along the way with the pregnancy. I understand if you don't want to be with me or have a romantic relationship with me, but we are going to have a child
gonna
together.
have a child together.
And I would like you to be involved. That's the most important thing for the child, right? We need to look for the child's.
I also think she needs to get as much help and support as she can. I mean, we don't know if she's in a financial position to get therapy, but in most communities, there is some kind of a pregnant mother's group. Any kind of a group would be wonderful for her.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's isolated, but it sounds that way to me. So if she can get into therapy, that would be great. You do have a right of refusal if you don't want to be in a relationship.
And so does he.
Yeah, yeah. But I think she needs to work on her ability to make sensible decisions. And in her upset state, she's still having to take care of 2 children, and there'll be a third.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Or some children.
Yeah.
And now there's going to be another one. So she needs as much emotional support as she can find from her family, from her friends, from a group.
I think if she puts any pressure on him for a romantic
Oh,
relationship,
he'll just disappear.
he's going to really get angry and agitated.
Right.
I think if you come at this with acting maturely
Yeah.
and trying to
Absolutely.
have him involved for the baby's sake, maybe he'll be more receptive, and maybe down the line they could try and repair the relationship, or
Right.
something might happen naturally. But I would not try and force this. He's not ready for a relationship
No
right
way.
now.
No way.
And there's going to be so much hurt and anger between both of you. You're angry at him, and I would be angry at him too, because I think
God,
he was
yeah.
lying to her.
I think so,
I think
too.
he was hiding things from her. I think
Yep.
he secretly wanted to get back with the ex-wife the entire
do
time
too.
they were together.
I do too.
And so I would have a very hard time trusting this guy if I was you.
Ever again.
And I would be very reluctant to give him another chance unless he does show real signs of maturity and growth. And, somewhere along the way, you guys can try and act like adults together.
But I'm concerned about her emotional resources for the baby and for her other children, because it doesn't sound like she has any sources of input and was counting on him.
Yeah, this is a really tough situation. And, it's sad because, we're dealing with a helpless baby that ideally you want them to come into the world with both their parents, or both their parents at least getting along if they can. And hopefully he will want to be involved with the baby's life, assuming he could be a good father. We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know if he's going to be a good dad. He seems kind of like a train wreck.
He certainly does.
So, you might have to do this alone, or at least without his
Right,
help.
and that's why I'm concerned about her emotional resources, yeah.
But no, I wouldn't push for anything romantically with this guy.
No.
I think it's only going to get him to push back, get angry, and lash out at you. If you can, spend time with him here and there surrounding the baby, and maybe you can show that you can get along together without hostility and anger, which I feel like there's a lot of here.
Yes.
Then maybe eventually it can lead to something again, but I don't think that's going to happen in the near future.
Right.
And then you put a baby in the mix. A newborn baby is so exhausting. And
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Exhausting. She's at terrible risk for postpartum depression. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a really tough situation. I think you should get yourself a local therapist to work through this one.
Absolutely. And if you can't, at least look on the computer for resources for expectant moms. There are all kinds of groups out there.
Yeah. This is a tough story.
Yes.
And the best you can do is to hold your head up high, act like an adult, be a responsible mother, and hope that you can open up a communication with him that allows him to feel like he can get involved with the pregnancy and start from there very slowly. So neither of you get overwhelmed.
Right.
Because I feel like there's so much hurt and anger just under the surface that, and even a little bit of time together will lead to an explosion and anger and fighting.
I agree. It might not even be safe.
Yeah. Okay. Tough situation.
Very
tough
difficult
story.
situation. Please, everybody get help if you can.
Yes. All right. Margaret would be a great resource in this situation as well.
I'd be more than happy to talk with her if I could about how she might be able to get some support.
And of course, you can get Margaret's help by clicking on Margaret on the top of my website. And if you want to get my help, just click on Craig for coaching on askcraig.net. I'll be happy to help you that way. I do email coaching and I do Skype. And that's all we had for this video.
That's it.
I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.